Oh, well, that's
Oh,
just,
this is okay. You want me to do it?
I want you to go first. Like,
Okay.
you tell me.
So this is Nincompoops in the News every day at 5:35 or thereafter. We give you some stories. Me and Cameron Smith give you some of the craziest news stories we can find on the internet, and you get to vote me or Cameron. Text in 615-737-9986. This is Nincompoops in the News.
Yeah, and I restrict myself to Florida man. I work for a member from Florida. I understand the pill pipeline down there. There's a lot of exciting things, jean shorts. So I try to go with Florida. But, Jackson, it's your turn, man. You lead us off.
All right. Naked driver jumps on roof of SUV before being taken into custody during bizarre standoff on LA freeway. Westwood, Los Angeles, a naked woman who led police on a brief pursuit Tuesday morning was taken into custody following a lengthy standoff on a major street in Westwood. The woman was detained just before 11 a.m., right after she jumped on the hood of her SUV. Officers initially responded at 6:44 a.m. to a report of a screaming woman causing a disturbance in the 11,000 block of Ovada Place in Bel Air, according to the Los Angeles Police Department. The street is just east of the Getty Center and the 405 freeway. A brief pursuit ensued, ending when the woman stopped the SUV in the middle of the street. Officers with guns drawn positioned themselves behind the gray Ford Bronco, using their patrol vehicles as cover during the standoff. An LAPD system-wide mental response team was summoned to the scene. The intersection was closed. A mid-morning commute. Police placed spike strips on the ground in front of the SUV as a precaution against the possibility of the suspect attempting to drive off.
That's rough.
By 10 a.m., 3 LAPD armored vehicles had arrived at the scene and boxed the Ford Bronco in with the woman inside the vehicle. The incident remains under investigation. That was this morning.
Yeah, invariably, when people are naked in public, it's not good.
What are we doing?
It's just not good.
I'm just trying to get to work. Like, if I worked in L.A., I would be so utterly angry at this woman. What are you doing? Put some clothes on. Drive to work. Be a normal person, please.
Well, this is anything but normal. Mine is Florida man, and man, Circle, Sercle, El Monte. Circle had a bad day. A Florida man was arrested after a meetup with a woman he met on a dating app turned violent when he allegedly ran her over after she refused to allow him to smell her feet, police say.
Okay, wait, repeat that.
No. We're going to go through the details briefly. Investigators say 28-year-old El Monte Circle, so it's El Monte's his first name, Circle, met the woman through the dating app Seeking. So if you guys are on that right off the bat, that's a one to avoid, I think. Maybe.
Red flag. And
invited her to the hotel. The woman, asked not to be identified, said she had agreed to meet Circle to sell him a pair of used shoes. So on a dating app, and then wants to sell him used shoes from meeting on the dating app, but quickly became uncomfortable when the conversation shifted. This is a quote, when I got there, he just wanted to sniff my feet, and I didn't feel comfortable with that, she explained. I mean, you could have my sneakers all you want. I mean, I don't care. I'm not wearing them. And they're just stinky old sneakers, but people like weird things. This is where like normal people would have like walked away, right? Like this is too weird, man. Like,
well, okay, why are you going to meet a guy on a date? Like, there's no other, in my mind, maybe I'm twisted, but there's no other possible outcome than this. If you meet a person on a dating app and then agree to sell them your used sneakers.
Yep. It gets better. The woman told police that she told Circle it would cost him $1,000 because she's a foot model and that's her going rate.
Oh,
according to the affidavit. She then said she had to get them out of the car and excused herself to the restroom, only to see Circle run out of the room. Believing he had stolen her belongings, she chased him into the hotel's parking garage and confronted him as he climbed into a red Mercedes SUV. Circle accelerated toward her, stopped, made a three-point turn, struck her with the vehicle. The woman was left with road rash, bruising to her back, arms, and chest, and injuries that required immediate attention. She called the whole ordeal extremely bizarre and said she's just thankful that she survived.
She got hit with a car?
Yes, he ran over her. quote, "By the grace of God, I'm still standing today," she said. "I've never experienced anything like this before. I've met a lot of people who have foot fetishes, obviously, and nobody's ever done anything to this caliber."
Did he steal the shoes?
I don't know. But he ultimately was charged with aggravated battery. He's bonded out of jail and is scheduled to appear September 29th. But
How do you explain this to other people?
Well,
Like, what are you in for? I hit a lady with my car because she wouldn't let me sniff her feet.
yeah, well, the part I love is I've never experienced anything like this before. I've met a lot of people who have foot fetishes. Obviously.
Well, she's a foot model.
Yeah.
That's like the job.
And nobody's ever done anything like this. I'm like, okay, so you have just a lot of people really into your feet and you know them, but everything else has been totally above board.
On the up and up, yeah.
Until this guy.
Until this guy ruined it for
ran over
everyone.
you. So I just, wow.
So the online dating portion of this kind of got me thinking about this documentary I watched over the weekend. Have you seen this new Netflix catfish documentary?
No, I haven't.
It is insane. So it was like this high schooler was getting like these threatening text messages, and spoiler alert, it turned out it was her mother sending her all of these crazy text messages.
Wow. Well, I just know if anybody on the Super Talk text line is on Seeking,
Get off.
Please let me know so I
Seek
can
help.
help you. Yes. I mean, we should, that one seems dicey. And if somebody wants to meet up to buy your used shoes, I don't think that's a thing you should really do. But that's just me. So, okay, we're looking at the votes. It looks, I'm looking like I'm ahead, and you're predictable, Jackson. That's what they're telling me.
A naked person?
Yeah.
Yeah, I this one popped up. It was the easy one to find, not going to lie.
Okay.
Happened this morning.
Well, I think I edged Jackson out here. And hey, look, I get it that some of you guys are like, oh, it's such a stupid segment. We're trying to make a lot of people happy here. I've been told, millions of people that listen to this radio station, and it is very difficult to make everybody happy because, oh my goodness, you should see the Super Doc text line, 615-737-9986. And other than Jason, who likes everything and just says inappropriate stuff I can't repeat on the air, the rest of you guys all just find different things that you're not sure you like. I mean, when it's Matt or me or anybody, we're here to entertain you and inform you simultaneously. You know, those things are at tension. It's pretty difficult. Okay, so that was Nincompoops. Don't say that I skipped it on you, but back to the conversation at hand. Several of y'all made comments about the flag burning thing. I'd encourage you to just go read the executive order. That's the easiest way to do it because the Trump administration understands what Supreme Court case law is and what they're actually able to do. And the idea of, well, we're going to prosecute hate crimes more virulently. I don't actually support hate crimes. I want to be real clear about that. I think hate crimes is a weird category of crime that if I burn your stuff or I steal your stuff, that's already a crime. Making something a crime, a more aggravated version of a crime because I really, really super don't like you, is weird. Like, you can be hateful, but the crime is the underlying issue. And so to be like, this is just way worse because you're like really, really mean about it, just strikes me as an affront to free speech. Maybe that's the like media guy in me that's like, I want free speech. The answer to speech you don't like is more speech. That's just how I've always worked. 9058 says, just wanted to hug you and let you know it's okay. He's probably referring to the devastating loss that I suffered on Saturday that I've tried not to bring up. We
kind of ran through all of our sports time in the first segment.
We did. But look, my Alabama Crimson Tide got demolished. It was inappropriate. It was bad for TV. Children shouldn't be allowed to watch that. It was awful. And I'm concerned that it may happen again. I think and my friend Mike said that I should spend the rest of the show asking you guys for input on how we might make Nick Saban come back. But I don't think that that's probably a good use of 45 minutes. It actually is, but we're not going to do that.
He looks like he's having fun on game day.
Oh, yeah, it does. But I like him when he's angry.
But he's happy.
Yeah,
he's happy. I don't know if what if you get happy, Saban? What's going to happen?
I don't know. I don't want that. I think Kalen DeBoer is happy. He's like, hey, these guys want. You know who wanted? Who told me about how much guys want it and how hard they're working? Butch Jones and his freaking life championships.
He did do that.
He did do that. And the Vols fans did not like that. And I'm concerned I may got that.
I remember watching that as a YouTube video when I was like 15 or 16. And I was just like, what is this guy? Like, what are you doing, bud?
Yeah. So several of y'all have hit on the point about crimes being crimes. And I think we just got to be careful that we don't employ liberal things because they fit our narrative. Like, oh, cool, let's heavily prosecute hate crimes because if you can make it so that burning a flag is a hate crime, yeah, let's get them. Well, like, if you burn someone else's flag, you know, that's destruction of their property and that's a crime. Like, we don't need the hate component. It's just you can't take people's stuff and burn it. That's against the law. You can prosecute that. It doesn't matter. It's not protected speech. Like, there's no issue there. So we've got to be real careful playing in that space. And, you know, I filed a column on the flag burning because I do think what's ironic is the flag code says there's basically two ways that you can retire a flag. You can bury it or you can burn it. And so it's funny to me that the respectful way of retiring a flag is burning it. It's one of them. And the idea of somebody desecrating the flag with burning gets us kind of in the opposite way. Like, and so that juxtaposition was interesting to me, and I decided to write about it because I think it's something that we have to decide. Like, do we care about the symbol or do we care about the freedom that it represents? I care about the flag. I think the flag as a symbol is important, but I don't think that I'm willing to step on the freedom for the symbol. I mean, that's just kind of where I fall on it. So some of y'all brought Mark Levin's comments on this subject. And if it's burning someone else's flag, that's already a crime. You can't do that. So great, the executive order does nothing. And if it's an enhancement and it's like a hate crime, then I don't support that. I think man, y'all are still hating on nincompoops in the news. If you love nincompoops in the news, speak now. If you hate it, speak now. So it said they are burning the flag. 1817 says they're burning the flag to incite a riot. That's a big issue. If you can prove that, I think that's really tough because I think there are people that do it in protest pretty clearly that aren't asking you to go like trash something or like you would have to be able to prove that up. And if you could, fine. But then that's inciting riot. That's a different crime. And so that's where we have to be careful is I don't want to play weird games where we're not Daryl is funny. Daryl said if they want to burn it in protest, can they wrap it around them first? And I don't think that would be safe, but some of those folks don't look like they really care. So far on the nincompoops, I look forward to it every day, hate it. And Sally said I'd be willing to bet most American flags are made in China. I mean, I could probably get behind that law. Only American flags made in America. I mean, that sounds like a really interesting one, but there's some politician out there, probably who's somebody running for this 7th congressional district seat that can introduce that. I was looking at the candidate list. I want to take a few minutes to talk about that. We got to take another break, but I'm looking at Jody Barrett, Gino Bulso, Stuart Parks, Lee Reeves, Matt Van Epps, Trace Whittem. I mean, who y'all got in this one? I don't know. I mean, I liked Lee Reeves. I think he's a sharp guy. But, his campaign has been very pandering, just to be blunt. His first piece of legislation that he would introduce, you could Google it and be like, it's already been introduced. Are you going to co-sponsor somebody else's bill? So it was very unforced error, which sort of made me like, I don't know about that guy. Jody, as John Rich has been all over supporting Jody. Jody's, interesting out there. I mean, y'all have heard Stuart Parks on this show before. Matt Van Epps, I think. Why am I blanking on the congressman's name who just stepped out that created the vacancy? But I think Van Epps is his guy. So I don't know. I want to know who your dog is in that race, because I don't know at this point. It's an interesting race to me, and I want to know what you think. We got to take a break. I'm Cameron Smith. This is the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7. Oh, man. We're in and out again. It's very exciting. It's Mark Green. That's who I couldn't think of. Thank you, Nolene. She was helping me figure out who it was, why I could not remember who had endorsed, I think, Matt Van Epps. But I don't know. I haven't really heard anybody say, this is the clear front runner. There are a number of folks in that race, but I'd love to know who y'all are supporting. So please, 615-737-9986. Let me know, because I think who we send to Congress matters. And that's a very interesting field right now. So if you got a dog in that hunt, let me know. I was pulling one other thing before we go to the break, that the other thing that I think people aren't being honest about when it comes to the tariffs and things like that is they do like shopping at Walmart, but more than that, they like to be clothed. Something like 80%, north of 80%. I've seen estimates high as 90% of our clothing is imported, because we don't make a lot of our clothing in the United States anymore. So, if we're going to, really hammer it, you're going to pay more for clothing, but not have a ton of options domestically. So that's going to be super interesting. But, I mean, it's pretty warm in the South, so you don't really have to wear clothes. So, that's an option. It's not going to be pretty for some of us, though, and you're not going to want to see that. But buy American. It'll be fine. We got to take a break. I'm Cameron Smith. This is the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7. Welcome back. We're on short time now. So I'm looking at presently Epstein files. I'm looking at 33,000 pages that were just released from House Oversight Committee pursuant to a subpoena. So what's interesting here is I think many of you have been on the same page as me of, hey, release the files. Like, this guy's gone. Like, if there's stuff there that we need to see, do it. And the administration has been reticent to do that. Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna have filed a discharge petition to force this to be done. So the House Oversight Committee is releasing it ahead of that. I don't know if that will stop people from supporting the discharge petition, but the bottom line is they need 218 signatures, and Khanna said that they're going to get 212 Democrats. That means they need 6 Republicans. They have 4 on it right now. Thomas Massie, Nancy Mace, Lauren Boebert, and Marjorie Taylor Greene. So this is going to be a really interesting issue, because this looks like a preemptive headed off at the pass. And I'm telling you, I'm looking at the files right now. There are things redacted, but there's a ton of stuff. An incident report. I'm looking at an incident report from the Palm Beach Police Department right now, and talking about different interactions with Epstein. And so, I mean, I think this is good, but I also wonder if it's a sort of head fake. And I'm not a conspiracy thing on this. I think these were creepy people doing creepy people stuff with people they should not have been, who it appears some of them were underage. I don't think there's a magic list. I think this is probably going to be boring, but it sort of begs the question of, like, why not, if it is indeed boring, and there's 33,000 pages or more of random stuff. And I can tell you, I'm looking at it right now. A lot of this stuff is just weird. It's, text messages, random stuff. To begin to digest this and come up with something interesting is just kind of silly. But I don't know why at this point, if they're releasing all of this, you wouldn't ask for the rest of it, right? That seems very bizarre to me, because obviously they didn't want to release this. They felt like they had to. Some of these are like handwritten notes. Like this one that I'm looking at, it's on Epstein's letterhead. It says, bucket of roses to the Royal Palm Beach High School for give the flowers at 8:30 to, can't really read that, to her at the stage after the performance. Okay. Like, how you would begin to put these things together, I'm sure that there are conspiracy folks that will spend plenty of time poring over all of them. They are interesting, but it is largely incoherent to somebody just kind of looking at it. So I don't know where y'all fall on this. I think it's going to be interesting to see the discharge petition, whether it's successful or not. My take is it probably is. They only need 2 more Republicans, and then it's done, assuming the Democrats are there. I'll be interested to see how many Democrats can stay off of it and say they don't want it, but I don't see that. It's going to be interesting. Several of y'all, now that Congress is back from the recess, particularly with the adverse ruling on the tariff stuff, it's going to be very interesting to see where congressional Republicans are on all this, because several of y'all pointed out on the Super Talk text line, 615-737-9986, that Congress could indeed give Trump the authority for his tariff regime. Like, they could do that. I don't think that it's as much of a slam dunk as Trump would like to think. I think there are a lot of Republicans that are looking at it that are getting hammered at home from small businesses that said, hey, wait a minute, my aluminum cost, my cost for manufacturing, my cost for doing stuff just went through the roof because of these tariffs, and I'm not going to write you another check to support you. And so I don't know if, Democrats are going to do anything they can to thwart Trump. So just consider that you've got 212 votes that would not support tariffs. You only need 6 Republicans that say, hey, these are attacks and I'm not going to support it, and they're cooked. So I think that's where Trump's going to have a real problem, is if the court if the Supreme Court denies certiorari and says, we're not going to hear this case, there's no new legal arguments, this is the correct ruling at the appellate court level, or the court hears the case and says, no, this regime is not constitutionally permissible, then I don't think it's as easy as Trump just going to Congress and saying, hey, do it. Let's go. Yes, Sally, I said 30,000 pages. It looks like 33 plus. I don't know the exact number, but they just were released from the House Oversight Committee. Sally graciously will let someone else read it for her. I think that's wise, Sally. I don't. In looking through it, I don't know that I want to. Somebody will, I promise you. And particularly the media who want to see if they can draw a closer line between Trump and Epstein, they absolutely will, because they want to be able to connect. As I saw, Senator Heidi Campbell had tweeted out an image of Epstein with Trump, and it's a known fact that they were friends. And she was implying that Trump was a pedophile. And that, to me, was a little bit of a bridge too far, even for a Democratic elected official. And I said as much, that, use your words. Don't imply things. If you're saying that about the president of the United States, say it, but be clear about it. And I'm kind of reading the tea leaves and looking at what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting to see how we land this plane here at the end of the year, because the stock market, I mean, we've heard about pricing. Some of y'all mentioned Palantir and some of the other companies. The market took a bit of a hit today. A lot of these companies are just priced really high. Their stock offerings are priced really high. And the market seems like it's primed for a correction at some point. I don't know when that's going to come. But let's just say for a minute that this tariff stuff goes away. Well, we had a way of doing things, a global supply chain with all these deals. And then we kind of negotiated a new thing. And then if the courts strike it down, then that's more uncertainty. And right now, I don't know how a company would price things. I don't know how a company makes a decision on what I pass through to consumers and what I don't when you're not sure whether this stuff's going to stick around or not. And all this, seems like the chickens are going to come to roost here for the holidays. And that would be, I would think, not awesome for Republicans, but maybe I'm wrong. We need to take a break. I'm Cameron Smith. This is the Matt Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7. Welcome back. We have only minutes left. I need some counsel here on the Super Talk text line, 615-737-9986. I need to know what to plant. I did not start from seed broccoli and some, Brussels sprouts that you'd normally start for a fall garden. I can't get around starting stuff indoors in July. That's just weird for me because I've got my outdoor garden. So as that garden wanes, I want to know what you guys are planting. Over the next few minutes, if you guys don't mind texting me, I want to know, carrots, collard greens, spinach, like all those things seem on deck for things that you can work with. But for example, last year was the first year that I got Brussels sprouts, but I had, cauliflower. I planted cauliflower, but the cold nuked it right before I picked it. Like just hard frost, boom, dead. So, anything that you guys would suggest, I'm open. I don't know how I feel about turnips. I realize this is a departure from the tariff conversation, but, as the options of fresh fruit and vegetables coming from other more tropical climates get tariffed, I guess I'm going to be stuck with my Swiss chard and turnips. I'm not looking forward to that. I like some good raspberries, even in the middle of winter. But no, I cannot grow them. So cabbage, carrots, kale. Has anybody done kohlrabi? I don't know. I'm just fishing here, but I got to figure that out. And it's just a reminder, particularly with my 5 boys, we don't have much time left. Those of us who are in the parents vein, I understand over the last couple hours, we've talked about a bunch of topics. You've educated me. You'd help me out. Thank you, TB. I really appreciate you giving me some options for the fall vegetable. Strawberries. My strawberries, I had them in planters, and they got absolutely nuked this summer. Little trellises around my rail on my deck, and I guess it's just not enough soil, and it was too hot. But, man, they got nuked. So I'll have to look at the strawberries. That's interesting. But it's just a reminder that we don't have that much time with the people that we love and that we care about. Like, I know that politics is a big deal. We talk current events. This is talk radio. I get it. But I'd also encourage you guys to take that time, to spend those moments planting, growing. I've still got figs coming in. And I can tell you, just giving figs to my neighbors, going out and eating them as a snack when I get home from work, talking to my boys about, hey, some things take time. You plant the seed, you don't know what's going to happen. And then I realize I'm actually talking about my children. that we invest in those folks. And I appreciate all y'all. It matters to me that you take the time to engage and have conversation. Got other suggestions, onions, green lettuce. I got some onions in already. I think they should be good. Lettuce is always interesting to me. Sometimes it goes really well for me. Sometimes it doesn't. So I'll give it a shot. See what happens. I got some dragon carrots that I'm looking at trying out. So I'm a little bit of a dork like that. But I just want everybody to remember the human here. My friend Alex pointed out when I said that conservatives like freedom, she said, well, all Americans like freedom. And I think sometimes we get so intense about this stuff. We get so fired up about the issues that we miss the people. And I know that it's really easy right now to kind of retreat, sit on your phones. We talk about it with kids, but adults too. We sit on the phone and we scroll and look and tweet back and do all that stuff. And we don't relate. We don't build the relationships. And one of the things that matters to me is relationships, it's people. And it's kind of funny. I'm on the advisory board of a bank, Smart Bank, and I've learned that, man, their secret advantage is how much they love people and relationships. And I want to see that everywhere, whether, it's my day job, it's talk radio, it's at the Tennessean. I think that where we're going to find success is when we invest in people. And I appreciate you investing your time with me. You got a lot of options of how you can spend your time and spend several hours, whether it's Matt, me, Chris, Dan, Chad, doesn't matter. You're valuable, and we very much appreciate it. And I would encourage you to take the moments to build the relationships, to spend the FaceTime, put down the phone, back away, go grab some dinner with somebody. It'll make a big difference in how you approach all these issues, whether it's tariffs or taxes or flags or the Supreme Court. Everything's better when we're connected to one another. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your engagement today. And thank you for educating me. I certainly need it. I'm Cameron Smith. This is the Matt Murphy Show. And this is Super Talk 99.7.